Welcome back, guys, to another episode of The Weirdly Amused. I'm Noah, that's Dakota. You know us, you love us, or you hate us. Who cares? We're here for another game of Casual Commander today. But today we're bringing something a bit different than last time. No real tribal decks, but got some spice in here.
There's a real tribal deck over here, okay? We stay with the tribe.
Okay, that's because you only have one casual deck for now. We're working on it. We're trying to get him some more decks, but it's okay. He likes to buy the shiny fancy cards, so...
Yeah. I like to be broke. It's my favorite thing to do. I like to spend money. There's more stuff, but I like to spend my money. But yeah, I'm bringing back Wizards. I was not enthused with the last game, and also I've added some things to her because she's still growing. I still need a lot in her, honestly. So hopefully I've made her a little better. Definitely brought in some better interactions. Foil dress down. So we're hoping to be able to use the deck this time and actually play. That'd be fun. And then we've got new ones.
Yes. So start off, I'm bringing Lier, Disciple of the Drowned. Mono blue, spells can't be countered. All my instant sorceries get flashback. Sounds like an okay card unless you're like comboing off, which is what we're going to be doing today. It's a High Tide deck. Cast High Tide. All my islands now tap for 2 blue. Cast it from my graveyard. They now all tap for 3. And then cast spells like Frantic Search, which untap my land. Whittle, untap my lands. Things that give me a lot of ways to tap and untap my lands. Bring a bunch of mana. Draw through cards in my deck. I don't know if it's going to work or not. We're going to see. Worst comes to worst, I just die. And then...
it could be fun.
Joining us, you may recognize him from the Yidris EDH games. We have our buddy Chris bringing in Child of Alara. It's Child of Alara.
With the updated rules.
Ah, yes, with updated rules. It's Child of Alara. You know what it does. It's a 6/6 trample. When it dies, every non-land permanent gets blown up. It's board wipe tribal. So don't expect a lot of permanents this game. But we'll see how it goes. And then Pony is making his third appearance on the channel, trying to show us everybody what's good. He is still the undisputed champion. If I'm not mistaken, he has the most wins on the channel currently.
Hear him. I've got 3. How many's he got?
Well, hang on. So first game went to me.
No, first game went to me. The one with the Warp Gate.
Yes, the one with the Warp Gate went to you. Second game went to me. Then we have CEDH game number 1 went to you. CEDH game number 2 went to him. Game number 4. Okay, so Pony's coming for you though. He's been close a couple times. He's gonna make sure he gets it. He's packing in his Lord Windgrace Landfall Reanimator. This thing looks terrifying. I'm here for it. I want to see the spice.
Yeah, and it's nice to see not Lord Windgrace scape shift. You know, Lord Wind just lands. It's fun to see something slightly different. I mean, it is obviously still lands, but lands with a purpose.
Right. It's like you have Chulane. You know you're gonna play creatures. It's gonna be card draw. But what you do with the creatures, up to you. Play Druid Tribal with him. He's playing Windgrace Land Reanimator. I want to see it. It can't be bad, right? Let's get into this, though, and let's see exactly what's going to happen out of this. It's some more superb EDH gameplay today, as we have myself piloting Lier, Disciple of the Drowned, Dakota playing Inalla once again, Pony playing Lord Windgrace, and Chris playing Child of Alara. Turn 1, Chris starts the game off with a Leyline of Sanctity. I start the game off with a land and a Ruin Crab before passing. Dakota plays a Training Center, revealing an island before passing. Chris opens up with a Command Tower into a Mana Crypt. He then taps out for a Commander Sphere before passing. Tony starts off his turn with a Shocked Overgrown Tomb, casts a Worldly Tutor, and puts an Ancient Greenworn on top of his library. He then passes it to me. On to turn 2, I play a land, triggering Ruin Crab to make my opponent's mill 3. I then play a Thought Vessel and pass. Dakota plays an island and taps out for an Arcane Signet before passing. Chris untaps and passes his Mana Crypt flip, before playing a Boseiju who shelters all. He follows this up with a Lightning Greaves and plays a Consecrate land, and then passes his turn. When he plays an Ancient Tomb, taps out and takes 2 from the Ancient Tomb to cast Nature's Lore. He finds a Stomping Ground, pays another 2 to have it enter untapped, and casts a Farseek finding a tapped Blood Crypt before passing turn. On a turn 3, I play a Narset Parter of Veils and down ticket to look at the top 4 cards of my deck. I reveal a Twiddle from those cards and pass the turn. Dakota plays an Arid Mesa and passes. Chris passes another Mana Crypt flip and plays a Crystal Quarry, a land that can turn mana into the 5 colors he needs, and uses it to cast Child of Alara, which he does. He equips the Lightning Greaves and attacks Narset to remove her, before passing the turn. Tony untaps, plays a Verdant Catacomb, and casts a Toxic Deluge with his Ancient Tomb, taking a total of 8 damage. This kills the Child of Alara and as a result destroys all non-land permanents. Tony then cracks his Verdant Catacombs to get a snow-covered swamp, and casts a Nissa's Pilgrimage for some more lands. He then passes to me. On a turn 4, I play a land and pass. Dakota plays an Urborg to make everything a swamp in addition to other types, and passes. Chris plays a Reflecting Pool and passes as well. Tony plays a Snow-Covered Forest and casts a Radha, Heart of Keld, using the Ancient Tomb and taking 2. He follows it up with a Demonic Tutor and casts a Dance of the Dead, an enchantment that let him reanimate his Ancient Green Warden. However, Dakota responds by using Whirlwind Denial to counter the enchantment's ETB effect, preventing any reanimation. With this, Pony passes. On turn 5, I draw and pass. Dakota plays a Scalding Tarn and passes. Chris plays a Fetid Heath and uses it and his Beseiju, taking 2, casts a Wrath of God, destroying all creatures. In response, Dakota casts a Quicken to draw a card. Chris then passes the turn. Tony plays a land and casts Lord Windgrace, which I respond to by casting Unsubstantiate. Dakota then responds by cracking his Scalding Tarn and fetching a Volatile Fjord. This puts Windgrace back into his hand, and Pony casts a Dread Return targeting his Ancient Green Warden. The tree finally hits the table, and he passes. On to turn 6, I draw and cast a Sapphire Medallion before passing. Dakota plays a tapped Blood Crypt and casts a Havengul Lich before passing. Chris plays a Rugged Prairie and casts Damnation, destroying all creatures again before passing. Tony untaps and casts Windgrace from his hand. He upticks it and puts up Mana Confluence in his graveyard to draw 2 cards. He plays a Command Tower and casts a Crop Rotation. I respond with a Dispel to counter it. Tony then passes. On turn 7, I untap and cast a High Tide to make my lands tap for 2 mana, and then cast a Nizami, Lady of Scrolls, and then pass the turn. Dakota untaps and passes. Chris untaps and casts a Fist of Suns, and then plays a tapped Watery Grave before passing. Tony untaps and upticks Windgrace, pitching a land to draw 2 cards. He casts a Titania, Protector of Argoth, and gets his Verdant Catacombs back from the graveyard. On his instep, I draw a card with Nizami. Dakota, however, casts a Dark Ritual into a Nexus of Fate to take an extra turn. Dakota then untaps and takes his turn, casting a Time Warp. He then takes extra turn number 2 and casts a Rakdos Signet and follows it up with Harmonic Prodigy, and then passes it back to me. On a turn 8, I finally get my 4th land and pass the turn. Dakota untaps and plays a Morphic Pool, following it up with a Mox Amber before passing. Chris untaps and casts an Omniscience. Dakota counters it with a Cryptic Command and draws a card. On his instep, Pony casts a Constant Miss, sacrificing a forest to buy it back to hand. He also cracks his Verdant Catacombs, and in response I cast a Reality Shift to exile Titania and manifest the top card of Pony's library. This stops him from looping the Catacombs and getting more and more elementals, but he does end up with 2 elemental tokens. With all that done, Pony starts his turn by uptaking Windgrace to pitch a land and draw 2 cards. He then plays a Cinderglade and taps the Ancient Tomb, taking 2, to help cast the Sylvan Library. He then spreads some damage around and attacks both Chris and Dakota before passing. On to turn 9, I untap and play my land for turn before passing as well. Dakota untaps and casts a Shipwrecked Dowser, popping it with Inalla. In response, I tap Nizami to draw a card. He gets back Dark Ritual, Time Warp, Whirlwind Denial, and Quicken back to hand. He then taps out to cast a Dark Confidant, and uses his token copy of Shipwrecked Dowser to attack Windgrace. Pony uses Constant Miss instead, sacrificing a forest to buy it back to hand, and passes. Chris untaps and plays a Sunken Ruins before casting a Myojin of Life's Web. He then plays a Darksteel Ingot, and he removes the Divinity counter from Myojin to play Avacyn, Angel of Hope before passing. Pony untaps and takes 8 to keep all 3 cards from his Sylvan Library. He then casts an Avenger of Zendikar, creating 8 plant tokens. He plays a Prismatic Vista, triggering Avenger, before attacking Dakota with his elementals and his 2/2 morph creature. Dakota blocks with Shipwrecked Dowser and takes the rest. On to turn 10, I untap and play a land. I tap Nizami to draw a card, and then tap out for Scourge of Fleets to bounce all creatures with toughness 6 or less my opponent's control. With that, I pass. Dakota untaps and recasts Harmonic Prodigy, then casts Dark Ritual. Dark Confidant comes back out alongside a Quicken into a Time Warp. He then passes to himself and triggers Dark Confidant twice, revealing a Nexus of Fate and a Suspend. This pings him for 8, and sensing his life total dwindling, Dakota casts a Professor Onyx. He upticks her to look at the top 3 cards and put 1 into hand, but loses 1 life. With that, he passes. Chris untaps and plays a Manamo, School in the Clouds, before trying to cast a Decree of Annihilation. Dakota swiftly counters it with an Arcane Denial, and this drains everyone for 2, and Dakota gains 2 life. Pony starts his turn by recasting Avenger of Zendikar, making more plants, which he sacrifices 3 of to flashback Dread Return. This brings back his Ancient Green Warden, and Pony plays a land, triggering Avenger before casting Splendid Reclamation to make a metric buttload of counters on his plants. He ultimates Windgrace, to which Dakota responds by suspending Avacyn, but Chris casts Defurious Protection. This lets Pony destroy Azami, the Scourge of Fleets, the Sapphire Medallion, Professor Onyx, Dark Confidant, and Rakdos Signet. He then makes 6 2/2 cat tokens before passing. On to turn 11, I play a Mystic Sanctuary to put High Tide on top of my library and cast a Propaganda. I then pass. Dakota untaps and passes as well. Chris untaps, plays a Mirrodin's Core, and casts Myojin of Infinite Rage. Dakota tries to stop it by casting a Whirlwind Denial, but Chris pays the 4 to keep his creature. He then removes the Divinity counter from Myojin of Infinite Rage, destroying all lands. He attempts to kill Pony, but forgets that Ancient Green Warden has reach and blocks the Myojin. Pony then starts his turn by playing his land, triggering Avenger, and goes straight for combat to take out both Chris and Dakota. On to turn 12, I draw and play a land, but quickly realize I can't climb out of this, and Pony wins the game.
I want a rematch. I'm very upset. First off, you took my 3 draws from me. That wasn't cool. I was a big fan of those 3 draws.
I was trying to stop you from the Nexus of... I knew that was coming. Like,
it's all good.
He doesn't need to lose 7 life.
Chris messed us up anyway. All right, Chris is all like, and then we overlooked Reach.
You guys overlooked Reach. I didn't care because I had the Aetherize the entire game. But then Chris is like, I'm gonna blow up all lands, and then we just sat there in silence and that.
Yeah, it was very upsetting.
I tried to come back, but it didn't work.
No.
I got riggedy wrecked real quick.
This is where politics is supposed to come in Commander. Okay, what happened to our politics? We didn't have any. All right.
No, because nobody really needed to politic with anybody. I don't think. Chris was like, he had a loaded gun to our heads, and we tried to convince him not to do it. What did he have to gain by not doing it?
Yeah, that
Nothing.
magazine was full too, man, because he kept on having that loaded gun. Like he blew up, got it countered, blew up. He's like, oh, okay, here's another one.
Yep, here's another one. That didn't work. Okay, here's number 2, number 3, number 4.
One of them will go off.
Yeah.
I have more of these than you've got counter spells. Either that or you have a bad deck.
Yeah, and it was just like, all right, we had to let it go through. But it is what it is. You and Pony now are tied at 2 wins apiece. Maybe after the new year, we might do like a season where we rack up wins. Whoever has the most wins at the end of the season gets something or whatnot.
Oh yeah, and whoever's got the most losses, like that's gonna be fun. Because I think right now Ben doesn't have a single win.
Ben does not have a single win, but he's only played 1 game.
1 game. Yeah, so one game, 1 loss. So yeah, that's fair. He was supposed to play today, but we ended up having a scheduling conflict.
Yeah, he had some things to do, which is fine. He did all of his stuff. But yeah, I mean, hey, if you guys want to join in on this, you want to get a couple wins under your belt, that follow button, go ahead and hit that Discord link.
And I'm getting my crown back next time, so if you want to come for the throne, bring it.
Dakota. You don't have a throne.
I will.
I'm
going to have a skull throne, all right?
I like the enthusiasm. I like it a lot. But you got to back it up.
I'll back it up after you catch up.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Thank you all so much for watching. We definitely plan on next week. We're probably going to do a CEDH game next week. So please let us know We definitely want some more people in here. We want to play with more people. We want to see more decks. We want to give everybody a chance to get their names on the winning board, because I think we're gonna do. Now that you mentioned it, keeping track. I might keep depending on how manageable it is, might keep like a tally mark for a little while.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably after the new year, let's get a bit more established, start a league, and then we just do an infographic at the end of every episode. Be like, all right, current leaderboard, X amount of wins for this person, X amount for this person. We'll get this figured out, guys. But yeah, if you want to join the not Warhammer, the Magic League, we'll probably be doing next year. Discord, get a couple games in, get some rotations going. But then on top of that, we're also looking at doing a Warhammer tabletop simulator tournament where people would submit lists, play a couple rounds, stream a couple games, put them on the YouTube channel. Probably do the streams on Twitch, and then put like a condensed version or like a more so a interview with the winner at the end. Put that on YouTube. That way you guys can get out there, talk about your army, talk about your win, stuff like that. I know I'm super happy for it. I have like 3 or 4 armies I'm trying to decide. Coda has a couple he wants to look at, but it's tabletop simulator. You don't need to buy the models, just need to have the rules. Everybody can play. Great time. Let us know what you want to do. Let us know if you'd like that comment or concern. Or hey, you want to have another idea, like, hey, what about doing this instead? Let's see us play modern or whatnot. Drop it in the comments. Give us ideas. We want your ideas. You guys drive our creativity. Please, please let us know what you guys want.
Plus, if you're interested, that's going to help us be interested as well. And we want you to be interested as well, because we want people to come on here. We want to meet new people, and we want to get into the community. Like he said, modern as well. That's also something I'm new at. So I'm going to bring out the challenge. I come out with my first CEDH deck, and I come out blazing with the CEDH deck. I'm going to do it with modern too. All right, come out, bring us some modern. I'll make a deck. We'll see how it goes. So any format, bring it out. We will make a deck. We will play with you. We'll have a blast. Just let us know.
But that being the case, guys, thank you all for watching. Wonderful having you guys. See you next time.